You think you know me.
If you close your eyes, your life, and if you truth revealed, should you never live and sky?
Hello fans, this is The Chosen One. Alright, I've been hearing this all weekend and I want to give you my opinion on it, and let me tell you what I heard and from the mouth of the man that did. Chris Masters re-signs with the WWE is what I've been hearing all weekend. It has not been confirmed at this time. I was listening to the wrestling show on the internet with an interview with Chris Masters, questioning him about the WWE sign. He says they have met, but he has yet to sign with the WWE, or that he is coming back to the WWE. So it is not confirmed that Chris Masters is coming back to the WWE at this time. Now, another thing I want to talk about right now is Bruiser Brody. If you do not know who Bruiser Brody is, then go get this book entitled Brody. Now, as many people know, Brody wrestled back in the 80s. Probably one of the first rebels to break loose. You know, he was so bad he was cool. It was just like the DX thing and Stone Cold Steel thing, except this was in the 80s. He wrestled for every major promotion at that time, the AWA, the WWF, and he was on his way to sign a deal with the WWF at that time to play, or World Wrestling Federation at that time, to have a match at WrestleMania 4 with Hulk Hogan, Bruiser Brody versus Hulk Hogan. But at one time back in the 80s, Bruiser Brody was the highest paid wrestler ever at $14,000 a week. So Bruiser Brody made his mark on sports entertainment. He wrestled with Vince Sr., wrestled for Vince Sr., you know, and probably took on some of the best. He was real well known in Japan. Had some disagreements in Japan. He was a big sell. He was a big draw, but he was also a big problem in some places. And one of the places was the WWC or the WCC, whichever one, in Puerto Rico, which was run by the Invader One, which was a wrestler. Him and Carlos Colon, who is the father of WWE superstars Carlito and Primo. Now, Invader One had a disagreement with Brody or whatever, was mad because Brody was trying to take over the promotion, and they was in the shower, and they said that they was in the shower discussing business, and said that he stabbed Bruiser Brody several times, and he laid there and died, or didn't die there. They said, I don't know. I've heard so many different things. I heard Tony Atlas give a whole different story about how Bruiser Brody died. He said that Bruiser got stabbed. He stood there and tried to get somebody to call 911. They said he was there for a while. Bret Hart said he was there 2 hours. Tony Atlas said he wasn't there 2 hours, and Tony Atlas said they rushed him to the hospital. He was still alive when he left him at the hospital. They said he was in stable condition. And then Tony found out he later died, and said if he hadn't left the hospital, that Bruiser Brody would still be alive today. But we don't know what happened. You know, the guy got off on self-defense. But you know, Carlos Colon was real good friends with Invader One, and if you know who Carlos Colon is, he was in the WWF. I remember he made an appearance in the 1993 Royal Rumble. So if you got the 1993 Royal Rumble, make sure you watch that. It was a good Royal Rumble. I enjoyed that one. But Bruiser Brody was probably one of the biggest rebels, and I mean, you've got to get this book. It's called Brody. I mean, it's off the charts, and I enjoyed reading this. And there's also one called, I think it's called Bruiser Brody. But you can check out go to bruiserbrody.com and read up on Bruiser and find out everything you want to know about Bruiser Brody there, or you can just type in stuff on YouTube, Bruiser Brody. It shows all Bruiser Brody matches. As a matter of fact, there is a match on here with the guy that killed him. It's Bruiser Brody versus Invader. It was one of the final matches, one of his final matches. Now, he also wrestled in World Class Championship Wrestling. Now, I had that DVD around here somewhere. If you hadn't seen that, you need to see it. I'm also going to promote a DVD while I'm here. If you have not seen this, it's not the best in the world. It doesn't really give the whole story, I don't think. But it's still a good DVD to watch. I enjoyed it, and you check out NWO Back in Black. And that was good. I'm going to look over and see if I can find some of them other DVDs. Alright. I also have this one. The last ECW pay-per-view, Guilty as Charged 2001. But this is the one, and it's got Bruiser on there. It talks about Bruiser on World Class Championship Wrestling. Need to check that out. You know, World Class had a lot of tragedies in the time. Gino Hernandez, you know, the Von Erichs, Bruiser Brody. I mean, it was rough, you know. But you gotta check it out. Now, I was never really a fan of this organization, but I'd like to hear your opinion if you ever watched any of their videos before they went out of business. Well, I have a couple of DVDs here that were given to me. I wouldn't buy them. I didn't know who XPW was, but just check it out. It's something I tried to copy ECW, but it was just trash. I didn't like it. Thought it was sorry. I hated. I was glad to see Shane Douglas come in there for the last part of it, but for the hostile takeover and stuff like that, I tried to bring ECW stars in there. But XPW I never really liked XPW. Wasn't that good to me. Now this is one of the XPW right here, Free Fall. Vic Grimes falls from like 40 feet in the air off the scaffold fall. Now that was awesome. That's the only reason I bought this DVD. Now I did buy that one. But I mean, there's just so much. I got so many DVDs over here. But anyway, Bruiser Brody will be missed. He was probably one of the best wrestlers in the while. I mean, back then, you know. And what a match! What would it'd have been awesome if he'd have been in the WWF or World Wrestling Federation or WWE, whatever you want to call it. Because I mean, him and Hulk Hogan would have matched well. I think he'd have beat the hell out of Hogan. But you know, he fought Luger in a cage match, and they told Luger that he was a very violent person inside the steel cage. Luger got in the cage. Bruiser Brody just stood there and no-sold any of Luger's hits. So Luger, after Luger just kept hitting him and Bruiser Brody didn't do nothing, Luger left the ring. Left the match, left it, everything. And the reason Bruiser Brody did it, he said, was because it was money issues. It was not no personal vendetta against Luger. So I hope you enjoy that. And coming up, I'm going to be doing a topic soon on steroids in wrestling, plus the wrestling business and how it's progressed from the 80s up until now. So I hope you tune in and watch. But this is the chosen one. And for the people who out there who think Chris Masters has re-signed with the WWE, if you got confirmation, I want to see it, because I've looked on WWE.com. I have not seen nothing about Chris Masters re-signs. I've looked on several spoiler websites, and even one of the, rumor websites, and one of the websites I looked at that was one of my personal sources said that it was just a rumor that Chris Masters had re-signed. Plus, if I can find that link to the actual interview with Chris Masters where he said that he has not re-signed with WWE, he has talked to him, but he has not re-signed yet, I'll get it to you. But this is the chosen one, baby, and I hope you enjoy. And make sure to tune in tonight, because we're going to be doing the little video footage from the actual event. You know, we're going to be doing that. Plus, I'm going to give you my post-Extreme Rules. What I thought about the pay-per-view also tonight. So make sure you tune in and watch that. And if you have not watched my Extreme Rules predictions, go watch it. But I missed the match. I know I did, but it was the Fatal 4-Way for the United States title. The reason I didn't mention it was because it's not even matter. Kofi Kingston will retain the title tonight. Why put it on him Monday and take it away from him? And we out.
If you close your